So happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to yoga. We're going to start by getting centered. So please come to a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. I'm sitting on a couple of folded blankets with my legs crossed. You could sit with your legs forward. Honestly, you could even lay down for this if you wanted to. We're just going to spend a few moments turning off the light switch to outside and turning on the light switch to what's going on in here. Okay. So letting your eyes close, take a deep breath in and out. And just stay with the breath, this awareness of the breath flowing in, inhale, flowing out, exhale. And there's a lovely Buddhist practice you could do as you're aware of the breath here, just to help ground you here in this moment. As you inhale, hear in your mind the words, I have arrived. And as you exhale, hear the words in your mind, I am here. I have arrived, inhale. I am here, exhale. I have arrived. I am here. You've arrived in the present moment. You are here in the present moment. You have arrived in this body. You are here in this body. Just a few more of these breaths. You have arrived. You are here. And with your next inhale, take a deeper, fuller breath. Bring your palms to your heart and bow your chin, honoring yourself as you are in this moment, as you have arrived, this body, this breath, this mind. Just setting the intention that this practice is in service of all of that. So when you're ready, rub the palms together, creating heat. And take the heated palms over your eyes. And brush back over the top of the head, down the neck, bringing yourself back to the space around you. You have arrived. You are here. Welcome. Go ahead and move any props you have off to the sides. And we are going to start, actually, we're going to start in a seat. And so I'll actually have you extend your legs forward to start here. Good. All right, and then, so we're just getting warmed up, so this will not be your most expressive posture. And if you want to, you could even sit on a folded blanket to give yourself a little bit more height in your spine. Okay, so the first thing you'll do is that you'll flex the feet, pulling the toes back towards you. Now, yes, the goal is to have the legs straight here, but if your hamstrings, the backs of the legs are really tight, you can bend the knees a little bit, all right? Good. Now with your next inhale, lift your arms up. And with your exhale, release the arms down. We'll do more with the legs here in a moment, I promise. Inhale, lift the arms up, feeling that motion in the shoulders. And exhale, bring the arms down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Good. Lift the arms up. Inhale. Stay up. Inhale. Exhale here. Feel this length in the spine. And then think about the hips as a door hinge. We want to keep both sides of the hinge flat, but go ahead and hinge at the hips and bring the chest a little bit further forward. And then inhale, sit back up. And then exhale, again, hinging at the hips. Bring the heart forward a little bit. It does not have to be all the way. Good. Again, exhale forward. Trying to keep the back flat. And if you have to, you could even bring the arms into cactus arms, bending the elbows and doing the pose here. Good. A couple more times. Starting to lengthen the back of the body, the backs of the legs, the lower back. Now, while keeping the back straight, hinge at the hips, come as far forward as you can, and bring your hands onto your legs. And so you want to make sure you're not hunching forward here. The shoulders can roll down the back, and the back is flat. So it might mean you only fold a little bit, and that's fine here. Good. Now, with your hands on your shins or your knees or the floor next to you, straighten the elbows, sit up, take a deep breath in. With your exhale, bend the elbows and just bring the heart a bit further forward. Then inhale, straighten the elbows again. And exhale, bring the heart forward again. Getting into the lower back tonight. Straighten the arms, inhale. And then exhale, bend the elbows, bring the chest as far forward as you can without collapsing, and stay. Aware of the breath. And again, making sure the upper back is not rounding forward. The shoulders are gliding down the back. Now, from wherever you are in the fold right now, walk your hands as far forward as you can to straighten the elbows again. Okay? Good. Now take a deep breath in. With your exhale, bend the elbows, bring the heart a little bit further forward. Inhale, straighten the elbows, come back to that previous point. And exhale, bend the elbows, bring the chest a bit further forward. Inhale, straighten the elbows. Again, exhale, bend the elbows, bring the heart a little bit further forward. Inhale, straighten. Then exhale, go to this new point, however far you can go forward now and stay and breathe. And again, the back isn't hyper rounding here. The shoulders are gliding down the back. And keep the feet flexed, toes pulling back. I know our hamstrings are tight. I know the back is tight, but this is all helping with that. Now, let's see if we can go just a little bit further here, okay? And it only might be a micro movement, and that is completely fine. So from this fold where you're at right now, take your hands further down the legs until the arms straighten again. Then take a deep breath in. Then exhale, bend the elbows. Bring the chest just a bit further forward. Then inhale, straighten the elbows. Exhale, bend them. Inhale, straighten the elbows. And exhale, bend them. One more time, straighten the elbows. Then exhale, bend the elbows, come to your new furthest point, even if only that's been a little bit, and stay at this new furthest point and breathe for a few rounds. Good. Then with the next inhale, walk the hands up the legs, sit back up. Good, and notice sensation. You can wiggle it out if you need to. Good. So we did some forward folding to get the back body nice and warmed up a little bit. And now we're going to do some bridge pose, do the exact opposite motion with the spine. And so if you are using a prop, just slide down off of it and move it out the way. And we'll come down onto our backs, making sure there's nothing directly above your head on the floor so the arms can go there when the time comes. Good. Taking your time getting to this point, but once you get onto your back, you're going to bend the knees and bring the heels underneath the knees and have the heels about hip width or distance apart. Your arms can start down by your sides. With your next inhale, lift your fingertips toward the ceiling and then all the way overhead, knuckles on the floor above you. And then exhale, lift the arms back toward the ceiling and then back down to your sides. Again, inhale, lift the arms up and over. And then exhale, lift the arms up and down. One more time with just the arms. Inhale and exhale. Now let's add the hips for some bridge rolls. Inhale, lift the hips into the air, arms all the way overhead. And then exhale, release the arms and hips back down to the floor. Good. Inhale, lift back up again. And exhale, release down again. And just continue to move on your breath. Inhale, lifting up, pressing the pelvis toward the ceiling. Then exhale, release down. Inhale. Exhale. Continuing for just a little bit longer. Good. And then come into bridge pose this time. Hips lifted, arms overhead, knuckles on the floor above you, and stay. And breathe. And you want to feel a slight back bend in your upper back as well. So your chest actually bows toward your chin. Relax your throat. Have the feet flat on the floor, pressing through the inside arch side of the feet. Press up higher. 3, 2, and 1. Release the arms and the hips back down to the floor. Take an adjusting breath. Notice sensation. Good. And then go ahead and draw your knees into your chest. And take your arms out to the side, making a T shape with your body. And if there's something obstructing that from happening, you can do cactus arms instead. So take a deep breath in, please. With your exhale, take the knees to your left side. Inhale, bring the knees back to center. And exhale, take the knees to your right side. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale back. Exhale right. Inhale back and keep going. Exhale, twisting to a side. Inhale back to center. And then try to keep the shoulders grounded to the floor the entire time. And if you want to make things just a little bit more interesting, you can turn the chin away from the knees. So if your knees fall to the left, your chin can go to the right. Inhaling to center, then go the other way. It just allows the neck to get involved a bit. Nice warm up for the core, the lower back. We're going to go for just a little bit longer. Exhale, twisting to a side. Inhaling to center. So the next time your knees come back to center from the right side, keep them in center from the right side. And you can hug them in if you'd like and take an adjusting breath. Good, good. All right. So staying on our backs, go ahead and take your arms down by your sides, and then you're going to tuck your wrists underneath your hips. So you're not sitting on them, but they're kind of tucking into the sides of the hips there. And this will help stabilize the lower back for the next exercise. So with that there, go ahead and extend your legs toward the ceiling, pull the toes back. We'll do a little bit more core work. So relax your jaw here, feel space in the back of the legs. Take a deep breath in. With your exhale, take your right leg, extend it forward toward the floor, hovering about 4 inches off the floor. And then inhale, lift the right leg back up. Then exhale, take the left leg forward. And then inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, right leg forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left leg forward. Inhale, lift, and keep going. Exhale, right leg. Inhale. Exhale, left leg. Inhale. A few more times. Keep going. Try to keep the lower back flat to the floor. Try to keep the jaw soft. Feeling that heat build in the navel or around the navel and the core. Good. One more time on each side, right then left. And the next time your left leg lifts up, go ahead and hug your knees back into your chest and take an adjusting breath here. But wait, there's more. So when you're ready, go ahead and tuck your arms or wrists underneath your hips again. Take your legs back toward the ceiling. Pull the toes back. We're going to work with both legs now and try to keep the lower back grounding or cementing or rooting, whatever adjective you need, to the floor the entire time. So take a deep breath in. Exhale, take your legs forward about 45 degrees, both legs. Then inhale, bring them back up to 90. And then exhale, take your legs forward to about the 30-degree mark. Then inhale, bring them all the way back up. Exhale, take both legs as far forward as you can without your lower back picking up. And then inhale, bring it all the way up. And then exhale, take the legs back to that 45-degree mark and hold for a breath. Good. Inhale, bring the legs up. And then exhale, take the legs to the 30-degree mark. So about a third of the way off the floor. Inhale back up. Don't think about it, just do it. Take the legs as far forward as you can without the lower back picking up and stay for a breath. Inhale all the way up and knees to chest. Take a deep breath in, exhale, sigh it out. Notice how that sigh just relaxes some of that tension in the belly. It's really amazing how the body works. All right, great job with warming up the core. From here, I'm going to ask you to bring the soles of your feet together in butterfly, knees going wide, and reach down and grab hold of the shins, the ankles, or for those of you with really long arms, you might be able to hold on to the pinky edge of the feet. And just draw the feet in toward the pelvis or belly, feeling that stretch in the hips here. And then keeping the feet together. Go ahead and take the pinky edge of the feet down to the floor. Good. Your arms resting down by your sides. And we're going to do butterfly bridge for those of you who know it. So pressing the pinky edge of the feet into the floor, go ahead and lift the hips, reaching the pelvis up, keeping the knees wide. And then exhale, release the hips back down. Inhale, pick up the hips again. Exhale, release down to a few more. Lifting on inhale, lowering on exhale, moving with your breath. Take your time with it. Don't do this quickly. One more time. And as you come into the pose, stay. Lifting the hips, knees wide, feet together. And try to keep the feet together if you can. If they break apart, it's okay, but do your best to keep the feet together. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, squeeze the knees toward one another and pick up the hips even higher. Then inhale, take the knees wide. And exhale, squeeze them in and up. Inhale, take the knees wide. Exhale, squeeze the knees together and up. A few more times. One last time, take the knees wide, inhale. Exhale, squeeze them together and up, stay and breathe. Breathe, 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 squeeze, 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 squeeze. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, take the knees wide and lower the hips down to the floor. Whew. And go ahead and extend the legs to the floor for a moment and just be with whatever is there, especially in the lower back, the core, the legs. You have arrived. You are here. Good. Taking a deeper, fuller breath. Go ahead and carefully roll to your right side and come back up to a seat. Good job. So we're going to stay down here on the floor for a little bit longer. And so I'm going to ask you to bring your feet flat to the floor, about mat width apart, okay? You want to sit so that you can sit tall. Your hands can brace behind you so that you have some support for the arms. And my feet are walking as far forward as I can without the the balls of the feet lifting up. So take it to the point where they lift and then just back it up a little bit. Good. Now keep the feet this wide apart. And then go ahead and rock the knees to a side, come back to center and rock the knees to the other side. And just keep going. Just feeling the femur head, the thigh bone, loose inside of the hip socket. And the knee that's touching down on the inside, so on your mat in that region, try to feel it extend forward as much as possible, lifting that back hip up. It's going to give you more length on that side, which will help to alleviate any tension, not any, but some of the tension in your lower back if you're feeling it. Try to keep the heart lifting. Now, we're going to make this a bit more expressive. We're going to get the arms involved. So as you rock to a side, sweep the back arm around and twist. Then inhale, open up. Exhale, sweep to the other side and twist. 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 Going as far into the twist as you can. You might not be able to look all the way behind you, and that's fine. And you might even find as you start to do a few rounds of these that your ability to rotate on one side is greater than the other. That's pretty normal. Twisting as you exhale, inhaling to unwind. And twist and twist. We're gonna go for a little bit longer here, especially with the moving of the arms now. We're getting some of this movement into the upper, mid and upper spine. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, unwind. And feel sensation. Wherever you might feel it, it might be in the lower back, it might be in the belly, it might be in the arms, all of the above, none of the above. Just notice what your experience is. I can't tell you what it is. Good. Now, we've done a lot of work since our first exercise where we folded forward over the legs. So let's just see what that feels like now, having done some of the work that we've done. So if you want to, again, you can sit on a folded blanket just to bring some height to your seat. Sometimes, again, this can make or break a pose for us. And extend your legs forward. Pull the toes back and sit up as tall as you can. Now, just from this alone, you might notice a difference between the first pose we did, first time we did this pose, and now. And let's give it a try with the exact same exercise, okay? So lift the arms up, or again, you could do cactus. Take a deep breath in, exhale, hinge at the hips, come forward a little bit, then inhale back up. Exhale, fold forward a little bit more. Inhale back up. Exhale. Inhale. Then exhale, fold to your furthest point. Bring the hands down onto the legs. Keep the back long, so no rounding. Good. Now take a deep breath in here. Exhale, bend your elbows. Bring your heart a bit further forward. Then inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale, bend the elbows. Bring the heart a bit further forward. Inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale. Inhale. Then exhale, bend the elbows and walk the hands further forward towards your feet. Straighten the elbows again. Now with that connection, take a deep breath in. Shoulders gliding down the back. Exhale, bend the elbows, bring the heart a bit further forward. And inhale, straighten the elbows. Exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, straighten the elbows. And exhale, bend, and just stay at this point and breathe at this point. Again, make sure the shoulders are gliding down the back. No excessive rounding to the spine, especially the upper back. Good, then inhale, walk the hands back, come up to a seat. All right, great job. So if you're using that blanket, go ahead and move it off to the side and roll on over. We're gonna come onto hands and knees. Believe it or not, we haven't been here yet. So hands under the shoulders, knees beneath the hips. Go ahead and curl the toes under and lift into downward facing dog. Nice spinal extension. And if you want to, you can walk the dog out a bit, bending one knee and extending the opposite heel toward the floor. We have done a bit of work for both the lower back and for the legs, so coming into down dog for the first time tonight might actually feel a bit more accessible than it normally does. But feel it out nonetheless. Good. All right. So from here, go ahead and float down onto hands and knees. Then exhale, bend your elbows in towards your waist. Bring your chest down to the floor. Release the hips back, having your hands underneath your shoulders. Back on the floor. Good. Now feeling your pelvis ground into the earth. Roll the shoulders down the back. Inhale, lift the head, chest, and legs coming into locust pose. Elbows stay bent. Exhale, release down, turn the head to a side. Inhale, go ahead and lift back up, locust pose, head, chest, and legs, inhale. And exhale, release down, turn the head to the opposite side. Inhale, lift up again, locust pose. Exhale, release, turn the head. Locust pose, inhale, lifting. And release, turning the head. A couple more times, inhale. Exhale. And then come into the pose and stay. Good. Now in locust pose, take the feet wide apart. Keep the legs lifting. Exhale, squeeze the legs together and up. Again, inhale, take the knees wide. Exhale, squeeze them together and up. I know. Take them wide again. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze them together and up. One more time. Inhale wide. Exhale, squeeze them in and up. Lift the chest. Squeeze up, squeeze up, squeeze up, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, slowly lower down. You can turn the head if you'd like. And take a few breaths. It might not have felt like it, but your lower back actually did love that. It'll love it later at least. Okay. From here, curl the toes under. And you're going to walk your knees forward a little bit so the hips come into the air. And then push up to hands and knees. And once again, back to downward facing dog. Stay here for a breath or two. Feeling your back flatten out. And then from here, go ahead and walk your hands back to meet your feet, coming into the standing forward fold. And just allow the upper body to drape down over the thighs. The knees can be a little bit bent here. And relax your head, neck, and shoulders. Arms hanging heavy toward the floor. Good, all right. So from here, with your next inhale, press palms to shins, come halfway up, looking at the floor. And then exhale, go ahead and fold back down. Again, halfway up, inhale. Exhale, fold back down. Come halfway up, inhale, and stay. Breathe. Take the shoulders down the back. You're looking at the floor. The chest is parallel to the ground. The chin's dropping toward your throat slightly, so the back of the neck is flat. The crown of your head pointing to the space in front of you. The knees are slightly bent. And then keep your upper body exactly where it's at. Bring your hands onto your hips. Allow your upper body to float. Breathe. All of a sudden, this simple posture became not so simple. Good. Then with your next inhale, stand up. Good. Take an adjusting breath here. The circulation in your body kind of evening itself out now that you're standing upright. Beautiful. All right. So bringing your awareness on back, we're going to do some standing postures next. And we're going to start with the legs nice and wide apart, okay? So nice wide stance on your mat. And for this one, have the toes pointing directly forward or even pigeon toeing a little bit. We're going to be doing some forward folding here, and this will give you more access to your hamstrings and the backs in your lower back, backs of your legs and your lower back, okay? So start with the palms of the heart, please. With your inhale, sweep your arms down and up. Look up as you reach up. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Fold forward, swan dive down over the legs. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the sides. Come halfway up, look at the ground. Then exhale, fold down again. Then inhale, come all the way up. Sweep the arms out to the side. Nice strong back. And exhale, fold all the way forward. Again, come halfway up, arms extending out to the sides. Float for a moment. And then exhale, fold back down. Inhale all the way up. Exhale all the way down. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, float down. Inhale all the way up. And this time, palms to heart. Good, great job. So we're gonna do some twisting next. You can watch me do a round or two of this first if you'd like. I'm gonna take my arms out to the sides. With my exhale, I'm gonna be twisting to my left. So I can bend my left knee a little bit, bring my right hand down as far toward that left foot as I can and roll the left shoulder back. And then I'm gonna inhale, come up, and then come in to do the other round. Bending the other knee, twist, then inhale, come back up. All right, and we're just gonna keep going. Exhale to one side, inhale back up, exhale to the other side, inhale, come back up, and just go as far as you can, all right? So take the arms out, deep breath in. Exhale, go ahead and bend your left knee, bring your right hand down, or roll the left shoulder back, twist. Inhale back up. And the other way, right knee bends, left hand down, twist. Inhale up, and then just keep going. Exhale to a side. Inhale, lift, and exhale to the other side. Inhale, lift. We're gonna do a few more rounds. A little bit of rotation in the spine here. Actually, it's a lot of bit of rotation. We're just twisting. Let's twist one more time on each side, okay? Left knee bends, then the right knee bends. And as you come up from that right side, inhale, exhale, release the arms. Good, good. Moving some energy. Good. So we're going to stay with the legs wide. We're going to change the angles of the feet to point outward about 45 degrees. Okay, so we're doing some squatting now. So your hands can start on your hips. Take a deep breath in. Then exhale, bend the knees out toward their toes. Go ahead and just squat down. Then inhale, come back up. And then exhale again. Bend the knees, squat down. Then inhale, come back up. Again, sinking down. And lift. And sink down. And lift. Good. Now sinking down this time, we're going to stay. You knew that was going to happen. And we'll bring our arms into cactus arms. This brings us into goddess pose. So feel the heart lift, feel the hips sink, feel the body open but strong. Couple more breaths. Good. With your next inhale, straighten the legs, reach the arms up, and release the arms on down. Good job. Great. So we're going to bring the feet together now, coming into a just normal standing posture. Take your time adjusting with that one. And I feel like some balancing would be good for us tonight. So one thing to remember about balancing, it's always good to tell this to you, even if you've heard it 1,000 times from me. Be careful of the critical voices that come to our heads when we try to balance. It's a great way to feel demoralized when we're trying to stand on one leg and we're wobbling the entire time. Don't judge yourself for that. You're exactly where you're at, and that's the only place you can practice today. And when those voices come into your head, remind yourself that this is just a practice. There's nothing to achieve here, nothing. So, with that in mind, have your feet stack underneath your hips. Feel the feet rooting down into the earth beneath you. Feel that support come up through the legs, up the front body, down the back body, arms open, and lifting through the crown of the head as well. It's almost like you're a tree. Spoiler alert, we're heading toward tree pose. So go ahead and shift that weight, that support down into your left leg, shifting into the left leg. And your hands can be on the hips, down by your sides, or palms to heart, whichever lets you know what you need to do with your hands. And then focus the eyes to a single non-moving point and begin to pick up the right knee, bringing it up as close into your chest as you can. Now, for some of us, that might only be a couple of inches off the ground, and that's okay. But stay and breathe. And if you fall, it's okay. Take your time coming back into it. Good. Then place the right foot back down. Feel that support in both legs again, coming up the front body, down the back body, reaching through the crown of the head, and then shift that support now down into your right leg. Focus the eyes, bring the hands into some supportive position, heart down, hips, whatever, and begin to lift the left knee up. Again, it's okay if it's just a couple of inches off the floor. You can't keep thinking about that support coming up the front body, cascading down the back. Again, if you fall, take your time coming back. And then carefully place the left foot back down. Feel the support in both legs once again. And we're gonna come back into the first side. Let's step over here so you can actually see my lower part of my body. It doesn't disappear into that shelf. So feeling the feet root into the floor, you're gonna go ahead and shift into the left leg again and take your time as you pick up the right knee. Again, as far as you can bring it up. Good. Now at this point, you're going to take the right knee out to the side, opening the hip. And again, your foot only might be a few inches off the ground here. And once you do that, you're going to either bring the foot above the knee on top of the thigh or below the knee on top of the calf. And you can even do a kickstand with the toes here if you want to. It's all right. Go ahead. And you keep holding on to that leg if you need to. But feel the support come up the front body, down the back body, crown of the head lifting. And again, if you fall, take your time coming back into it. Good. All right. Carefully release that right foot back down to the floor. You can shake off the standing leg if you need to. Sometimes it gets a little crampy. Good. And then starting at the beginning again. Have the feet grounding into the earth. Feel that support come up through the thighs, the front body, down the back body, crown of the head lifting. Shift that support right down into the right leg. And then start to pick up the left foot and knee as you are ready. Good. Now, once you're here, you can take the knee out to the side. And again, the foot either comes above or below the knee. Not on the knee joint itself, though, because that just blows it out to the side. That's not helpful. Good. And once you've made that connection, again, feel the support coming up the front, down the back, crown of the head and lifting. Breathe. If you wobble and fall, it's okay. No judgment. Take your time bringing yourself back into the pose. Good. And we feel nice and balanced here. You can go ahead and release that left foot down to the ground. Shake off the right leg if you need to. And then to counterpose that balancing, just slide the hands down the backs of the legs, coming back into the standing forward fold. Knees can be slightly bent. Just feeling the symmetrical stretch in the body. Good. So from this forward fold, I'd like you to transition into downward facing dog. So however you need to move on your mat to do that, come into downward facing dog. And then from there, float gently down onto hands and knees. And then our first child's pose of the evening. Go ahead and relax back. Hips to the heels, forehead toward the floor. And take an adjusting breath, feeling sensation in your body from the work we have done here this evening. And then from child's pose, go ahead and roll yourself up to a seat, and I'll demonstrate the next exercise for us. I'm very much aware right now that we haven't done a sun salutation together in many, many weeks. I'll bring one next week, I promise. Um, so we're going to practice rabbit pose next, and it's a little tricky with this headset, so I'm just going to do my best here to make sure you can still hear me while I do this. And it's a rather simple posture. I think all of you, if not most of you, have done this before, but there's something I don't want you to do in it, and that's why I demonstrate it for safety. So it starts in child's pose. And in child's pose, I relax the top of my forehead or the hairline to the floor. Now my arms are flat on the ground. I'm relaxing my shoulders, and I'm not going to effort really in my arms or shoulders. I'm just going to think about lifting and lowering my hips off the heels. And so as I lift the hips, I'm going to rock from the hairline to the very top of my head. And then with the exhale, I'm going to lower the hips, which makes the head rock back to the hairline. So I'll move my arm just so you can see. The head stays on the floor the entire time, rocking forward and rocking back. And the arms are just there to stabilize. Now, what you don't want to do here, which is very tempting to do, but don't do here, is get to the crown of the head and keep going. It's going to be tempting to want to rock back here. And if you do, it'll feel amazing. It'll feel so good. But you won't be able to turn your head for a few days. So don't do it. Okay. You're doing plenty of good work stopping at the top of the head. Back here overstrains the muscles of the back of the neck. And again, you're going to have a wicked time. So we don't want to do that so much. So we'll move in and out for a little while, and then I'll invite you to hold the pose if that feels good for you. So coming back into child's pose, folding down over the legs, hairline to the floor, the top of the forehead to the floor. And again, just relax the arms, relax the shoulders. You're not really going to effort there. And again, the head stays on the floor. Don't pick it up. And then lift the hips, rock to the top of the head, and then lower the hips, rocking back to the top of the forehead. Inhale, rock forward. And exhale, rock back. Keep going, gently massaging the, the scalp into the floor. And every time we move forward and back, we're gently pulling the tension out of the occipital region, which is this back of the neck area where the spine connects to the skull. That's an area that gets really tight sometimes, especially if you are a jaw clencher like me. Start a jaw clencher support group. We'll just do this all day. This exercise also has a very grounding effect as well. Anytime we cap the head to the floor, helps to bring the mind down from whatever spinning it might have. Now, we're going to go into a choose your own adventure portion of this program. If you're really loving this moving in and out, if it feels like it's just your jam, it's serving you, keep doing it. Now, if you want to, you can also rock to the crown of the head, the very top of the head, and stop and just hang out here. You can't make a bad decision, so just pick one and do that. Good. And from here, we'll all come into child's pose and just feel sensation as you relax here. You might notice that grounding feeling. Maybe a quietness to the mind. Maybe. Good. And so when you're ready, go ahead and roll yourself up to a seat again. And we will actually extend the legs forward because we've done this before. Good. With the legs extending forward, go ahead and bend your right knee into your chest. And with the right knee hugged in, go ahead and bring the right hand behind your spine. So right behind the back here. Then inhale, lift the left arm up. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, sweep that left arm around, hook the knee and twist, looking over your right shoulder. Good. Now, once you're in the twist, sit up a little bit taller, lift the heart. And then exhale, roll the right shoulder back a little bit more, closing the gap between your left chest and your left or your right knee. Lots of rights and lefts here. Breathe. Wonderful. All right. Inhale, carefully unwind and extend the right leg forward. Then side number two, bring the left knee into your chest, hug it in. Left arm goes right behind the spine. Inhale, lift the right arm up. Exhale, sweep that arm around, hook the knee and twist, looking over your left shoulder behind you. Now, once you're there, once again, sit up tall. Exhale, roll the left shoulder back, closing the gap between your right chest and your left knee. And breathe. All right, inhale, carefully unwind. Extend your legs forward one last time. And one last time, take a deep breath and lift the arms and then fold down over the legs, hands landing on the legs somewhere. Don't worry about grabbing the feet. We're not stretching the shoulders here. Taking just a few breaths into this forward fold. Good. All right. Inhale, sit up. And just keep going. Recline down onto your back, coming into our final resting posture, letting the body open up. Let your eyes close as you come into this resting state. Feel the tension in your body just melt into the space beneath you. And as you inhale, remind yourself that you have arrived. And as you exhale, remind yourself that you are here. You have arrived. You are here. peace, peace, peace. From here, go ahead and take a deeper, fuller breath, arriving here. Make some gentle movements in your hands and feet, your arms and legs. When you're ready, you can roll to your right side. And coming up to a seat as you're ready. Just bring the palms together, lower the chin. You have arrived, you are here. And honoring yourself for the work you've done here tonight, all the effort. And may that effort and this practice continue to serve you. So until we meet again, namaste.